All the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakaha Kodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth through the Holy Spirit. Peace and blessings and salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect. All right, I'm the brother Zion, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to feed the sheep and the lambs of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai. And pretty much I was doing a live stream last night, which ended up being about 30 minutes long. And what I found out today was, for some reason, YouTube only uploaded about 12 minutes of the lesson. All right. And you know how that could be sometimes with these damn lessons, man. So when I checked out the video, I peeped out. I said, damn, they only uploaded 12 minutes of 31 minutes. All right. And it was basically what? The brothers in Boston going in on these little Christian Edomites. Okay. Now we know the small hats run these different platforms, so who knows what could have happened, or it could have just been a technical difficulty. All right, but however, going back into the topic real quick, um, you know, since Yahweh Shem Shai has, put the prophets out there, all right, to, prophesy about America, Babylon the Great being destroyed, to prophesy about the children of Israel being delivered. All right, pretty much, the world is people who claim they read the Bible, all right, they've got their panties in a bunch, all right, because we've always brought out how salvation is for the children of Israel, and that's what the scriptures say. All right. Furthermore, one of my favorite scriptures is 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, starting at the 9th verse. All right. The other nations, Isaiah 40 and 15, Isaiah jumped to the 17th verse. The other nations are as the drop of a bucket and are counted less than nothing. All right. They counted less than vanity. This is Psalms. I got this pulled up, Psalms 147 and 19, right? He showeth his word unto Jacob and his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. So that right there lets you know that the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai, he giveth his word, he showeth his word unto Jacob. And like I was going into in the first part of the video, which I did last night, all right, this is basic milk, okay? But to a lot of people who don't understand the scriptures, it becomes a stumbling block. All right. The Most High only gave his word to the children of Israel, man. He gave his law, statutes, and commandments to the children of Israel. So we're a special people unto himself. That's Deuteronomy 7 and 6. That's Deuteronomy 14 and 2. That's why we're glad that we found out who we are as a people. Because that, we're exclusive to Yahweh Shem Shai, man. So he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh Shem Shai. So he have not dealt so with any nation. You other nations are just extras in the movie. All right? You're not special to the Most High. Okay? You're just extras in the movie, man. We're the apple of the Lord's eye. Okay? He made us special. He made Israel special. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect. Right? This is Deuteronomy 7 and 6. All right. And these are the scriptures you basically learn when you first come into the fold to understand that Yahweh Shem Shai is only dealing with Israel. Which the milk scriptures, you always got to go back and suck the milk. All right. You always got to go back and get the foundation of the understanding. Right? Because that's where you learn. That's where that's where you took all your notes. Okay? Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Okay? So Israel was made to be above all nations, man. It tells us in Isaiah the 14th chapter that we're going to rule over our oppressors. All right? We're going to take them to our place, right? And we're going to rule over our oppressors, man. That's the future for the nations. All right? Captivity, to be subject unto the children of Israel. Okay, because this kingdom that's getting ready to come, that Yahweh Shem Shai is getting ready to give us, is going to be an everlasting kingdom. In that kingdom, all nations are not going to rule. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 60 And verse 10, it says, "And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath have I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee." And the strangers in that precept is talking about the other nations. They're going to build up our walls. They're going to build up our kingdom. Okay. They're gonna labor. All right. They're gonna work in the fields. They're gonna build up our kingdom, man. Who built up this kingdom? Who built up America? Who built up different parts of the earth? The children of Israel. A lot of America was built off free labor. Different parts of the earth, different parts of the world, different cities built off of free labor. Yahweh Shem Shai is a man, he's a just power. So he's going to allow his people to get their payback, man. All right. This ain't the Most High ain't no, turn his face, well, nah, y'all get a one up on my people. No, we're going to get justice. Because this society don't know shit about justice. But when the true children of Israel speak about justice, all right, you have a problem. Now it's a problem. So you're going to build up our walls, man. All right. It says, "Therefore thy gate shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought." All right. It says that your kings are going to minister unto us. The word minister means to serve. So, and that's why a lot of you Israelites, you got a problem. You trying to save every damn body. You'll come up against us in the doctrine that we teach, and you'll side with a Christian. You'll side with Vocab Malone. No, all people can make it. You don't have a ruling class mentality. And that's why the Lord gonna leave you behind in them fucking missiles, man. Because you don't have a ruling class mentality. You'll get it when the kingdom of heaven is established. But a lot of our people, they want to side with the heathen. They want to side with the Christians. You don't want to side with the Israelites, which that's your nationality. You want to side with what you've been taught. All right. When we're showing you in the scriptures, but the election have obtained it and the rest were blinded, right? So it says, "Therefore thy gate shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring in the forces of the Gentiles and that their kings may be bought." Now, this is the key point. "For that nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted." So the Most High is telling us, that that nation and that kingdom that don't want to serve you, they're going to be put to death, man. Why do you think the scriptures say we're going to rule with a two-edged sword? Right? When you read Lamentations, when you go to Lamentations, the 4th chapter, it speaks about gold becoming dim, right? The precious sons of Zion, man. It speaks about them being esteemed as earthling pictures. Okay? Because the sons of Zion, the Israelites, they're supposed to be on top, man. And Yahweh Shem Shai is getting ready to establish us back on top where we belong. It just takes patience. But you can clearly see the prophecies coming to pass. You can clearly see Esau losing his grip. You can clearly see him running around the earth being defeated. He's fucked up. This nigga got scatterbrain, man. He don't know what to do. He could see his kingdom and his power slipping out of his hands. Okay? And we know what the scriptures say. Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And you got Vocab Malone squeaking around the earth talking about some Esau is a representative of the other nation. No, man. It's talking about Edomites. See, the one thing you can't do, you can't get out of this chokehold that Yahweh Shem Shai got you in, man. You ain't getting out of this one. Psalms chapter, that's not the one I wanted. Salakia. You ain't getting out of this one, man. Because the scriptures tell us in Psalms 83, y'all all came confederate against us. You all came confederate against us. And then it tells you the nations that did it. So now it's time for you to go into serve captivity. You're going to serve us. All right, you're going to build up our kingdom. We're going to sit on thrones with a two-edged sword and sip wine and tell you what to do. Because you don't need salvation. You received your consolation on this side, man. You fucking nations don't need salvation. You need slavery. All right, your time is up, man. Psalms 83. Nobody wants to talk about what you did to the children of Israel, but if the children of Israel say what they gonna do to you, now it's a problem. Now it's hate speech. The fuck out of here, man. Psalms 83 and 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that have hate thee have lifted up the head. See, the scriptures is letting you know you got enemies. But Jake don't believe they got. Jake want to save everybody. Jake got Stockholm syndrome, man. They want to save everybody. Your oppressor been putting his foot on your fucking neck, and you still want to save this nigga. No, the Most High said that's your enemy. Okay? They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, because they know that when you disconnect from your power, you're weak. You are weak. They know when you worshiping idols and you not with Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you are at a disadvantage. But when you start keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, when you start having faith in Yahweh Shai, when you start teaching Jake not to do what's wrong, okay? Because we always like to say when Jake is sinning, the other nations is winning, right? But when you telling your people to turn from their wicked ways, you know, now it's a problem. See, they don't want you to know that you're the Israelites. They don't want you to know that you're the chosen people of the Most High. As soon as you start waking up, oh shit, they're waking up. They finding out who they are. They're turning from their sins. We got to do something about it. But there's nothing you can do because this ain't of man. And you getting ready to fucking, you nations are going into slavery, man. Esau, you going into slavery. Moab, Ammon, the rest of the nations, you going into slavery. That's what's getting ready to take place. These few prophecies that we got to wait for, oh, it's go time for the children of Israel, man. Salvation, all right, and New Jerusalem coming back down and setting up rulership. That's what they're afraid of, brothers. They have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. You became confederate against us, man. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, Moab and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, and it names other nations. So all together, it was a plan. Cut them off, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. Then you got Esau and Amalek, those Edomites coming up and stealing your nationality. No, we're the people. You're Africans. You were swinging on trees. Well, why is it that they wanted to take our nationality away? Because they know, you know. But like I said, man, we're that peculiar nation, man. We're above these people. That's why even in captivity, we do everything better than you. Deuteronomy 14 and 2. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. So we're above you, man. We're above you. And salvation is only for us. All right? Keep that in mind, man. Salvation is only for us, man. And through the Spirit, I don't know why YouTube only uploaded 12 minutes of the first part of the video. But, we can go on and on and on about, we could bring out precepts forever, man, as far as, showing who salvation is for. But I got to get back into the job. You brothers, keep going strong, man. Keep going strong. I'm going to close it out. Lord willing, you were edified. Shalom.